Also, your score sheets at the end of the day, please bring those to the tournament office when you are done. Okay, it looks like we have 10 pins on the deck. The scoring arrows have come up. Bowling fans, how about a great send-off for the final round of qualifying this year's Team USA Team Trials. Thank you and good luck.
Welcome back to Bowl TV for the final round of women's qualifying at the 2016 USBC Team USA Trials. I am Aaron Smith, once again here at Gold Coast Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. We are behind lanes 57 through 68. And oh my, what an end to the men's qualifying round. We'll get a quick recap of that. We'll let you know who's earned automatic spots on Team USA, as well as who will be in the U.S. Amateur Stepladder Finals later tonight. Still have 6 games to go here on the whip for the women's qualifying. Once again, we're on the 45-foot roam pattern. So we'll get you caught up to date with all the details. We'll get you a quick rundown of our competitors, as well as what happened yesterday in round number 4. So thanks again for joining us here on Bowl TV. And sit tight, game 1 of 6 just underway. All right, we'll address all the speculation in the chat room. I'm sure someone has gotten it, but I will verify. Marshall Kent won the 2016 Team USA Trials with an overall total of 38 points, also earning automatic spots on Team USA. We already know Marshall's on the team, but Cameron Doyle, Chris Vi, and Andrew Kane are the 4 who earn automatic spots on Team USA. For the junior team, Anthony Simonson, Wesley Lowe Jr., Matt Russo, and Kenny Ryan are the automatic bids for 2016. For the U.S. Amateur this evening, Cameron Doyle, Chris Vi, and A.J. Chapman will make up the stepladder finals. A junior can win the amateur, so that's why Cameron has the #1 seed. Vi was 3rd overall once again. Andrew Kane was 4th, but he was is a professional, so that's why he will not be included. So we're moving on to Chapman next. So that is how everything unfolded today. Right now in our featured pairs, on 57 and 58, we have Christina Kimmer, Samantha Gaynor, and Madison McCall. Over on 59 and 60, Caitlin Cunningham, Lara Kurt, and McKenna Schaefer. Once again, a little different than the first 2 days, so These competitors will be moving together the entire day, meaning that in the sixth and final game, we will have our top 7 overall competitors entering the day right here on Bull TV. Nice shot by Madison there. We actually have a little information on Madison. She finished 78th at Junior Gold in 2015. She's joining us out of North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. She's an NC State All-Star Bowling team member in 2015. Also an ABT Tour Stop Bowling champion in 2015. So Madison definitely busy. Looking forward to heading to college soon. Specifically looking for an NCAA program to join. Got plenty of good ones out here, and a handful of coaches out here scouting as well and helping out throughout the week. So Madison has definitely had the opportunity to showcase her skills. All right, once again, I'm not the official bearer of news, but I would have to agree with Sean in the chat that A.J. Chapman would get a spot regardless. As the rules state, the winner of the U.S. Amateur will receive a spot on Team USA unless they are already on Team USA for said year. That year being 2016. And Cameron and Chris already do own Team USA spots, so by that logic, I agree. So thanks, Sean. But once again, that's just the live stream guy talking, so I would wait until I heard something official from one of the tournament officials, but I would agree. So All right, we're hitting the halfway point of game number 1. We'll get a look at the overall standings coming into today. If you want to look at those yourself, be sure to visit bowl.com/Team USA Trials. Click on 2016 results and you'll get standings, lane assignments, and much, much more. Except I'm on the wrong page to tell you these stats, so let me get back to that. The overall standings, Danielle McCune of Stony Point, New York, has led for the past 3 rounds. She has finished 7th, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th overall for a total of 16 points. She's got a pretty sizable lead over Stephanie Johnson of Grand Prairie, Texas, who's in 2nd with 31. Jordan Richard is in 3rd with 34. Kelly Kulik is in 4th with 41 points. And Stephanie Schwartz, our round 4 winner, if you will, rounds out the top 5 with 42. Taylor Boltice is 6th with 58. Shannon O'Keefe in 7th with 60. So those will actually be the 7 we see the final game. In 8th place, Shannon Pluhowski at 64 points. Aaron McCarthy in 9th, 66 points. And Brianna Cote with 75. So there's a look at our top 10 as of right now. As we saw in the men's, anything can happen the final day. So we saw some crazy stuff. Andrew Kane going 277 to jump into the final spot. An unbelievably rough break for Rob Gottschall, leaving a 4.9 when working on a double going into the 10th to fall outside of the automatic selection. So definitely going to be an exciting day on bowl.com. And don't forget, the U.S. Amateur Championships return tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern. I keep doing that. 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. local time here in Las Vegas. We already know the men's stepladder finals. Chris Vi taking on AJ Chapman, winner advancing to face off against Cameron Doyle. We'll have to wait and see who it's going to be on the women's side. And then directly after those matches are all said and done, we're going to introduce Team USA and Junior Team USA for 2016. So once again, after we finish up today, don't go too far. We'll have about an hour in between to get everything ready. The high seed for each match will get to pick the lane pattern, so we'll have both semifinal matches going on simultaneously. And then each final will take place. So we'll actually use 4 pairs of lanes for this, so we will know the selections for each lane for the higher seed, what they want to bowl on. And then we'll be good to go. So once again, that's scheduled for 7 p.m. local time here in Las Vegas, 10 Eastern, about 4.5 hours away. Madison McCall runs a little bit high, working on 2 in a row, leaves the 9-pin. Christina Kimmer and Samantha Gaynor also already in the 9th. Pace they will go a little bit quicker with less people on a pair here for women's competition. We only have 3 on most pairs. A few of them have 4. For the men, they all had, or most of them had 5. We had 1 or 2 folks drop out of the event, so they were marked as absent, so they went a little bit quicker. Some nice spare shooting from Laura Kurt. She's clean through 8. Christina Kimmer is going to finish up with a 161. Madison McCall can still get to 179. Samantha Gaynor still has 213 out there. Just heading it into the foundation frame on 59 and 60. Great shot by Samantha to kick things off in the 10th. Laura stays clean, taking care of the 2-8. Always tricky on these sport conditions. So Madison McCall finishes up with 176. Samantha Gaynor recorded the first strike in the 10th. Caitlin Cunningham does the same. Nice shot on lane 60. Make it a double for Samantha. Looking to get off to a good start here in game number 1. McKenna Schaefer gets the first one on the 10th. She can still get to 207. And a nice 212 for Samantha Gaynor. Another nice shot from Caitlin Cunningham in the 10th. She gets one more, can max out at that 177. McKenna Schaefer says, I can throw a double 2. Nice shot. 207 out there. Caitlin Cunningham finishes up game one, 176. Great 10th frame. McKenna Schaefer finishing things off right in game number one to get to 207. Laura Kurt joining in the striking fun here in the 10th frame. She can still get to 203. All right, nice shot. This is what we like to see. Big 10th frames on 59 and 60. Everybody delivering doubles. So we'll have one more shot here, and then, as we have all week, gonna wait for everyone to finish up game one before we start game number two all together. So we'll have a brief break. Looks like everyone around us is in the 10th frame, so looks like we'll be starting pretty soon. And the 6 count, 199. Come on, one more pin could have fell there. Still nice, 199 for Laura Kurt. That will do it for game number one. So we're moving right along here. Final round of qualifying for the ladies at the 2016 Team USA Trials. I'm Aaron Smith. Thanks again for joining us here at Gold Coast Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. Game two coming up next. Thanks again. Okay, folks, game number 2 now underway out of 6 in the final qualifying round for the ladies here at the 2016 USBC Team USA Trials. We are on lanes 57 through 60 today, so a little change from earlier in the week. That is correct. The pattern for the final day is the longest pattern we see all week, the 45-foot Rome condition from the World Bowling Library of Patterns. Joining us in game 2 on 57 and 58, we have Brianna Layan, Cassidy Curry, and Jordan Newham. On 59 and 60, Sarah Scholes, Dan and Terry, and Leah Glazer. Looks like we already have scores in after game number 1. Justine Falbo leading the way with a 268 effort in game number 1. Tie for second, Shannon Pluhowski and Jasmine Mason, 258. Dan and Terry, who's on our feature pair, she'll be up on lane 59 in just a moment, is in 4th with 247. Randy Spieler is in 5th with 244. Alicia Current, 6th, 236. Tie for 7th, Danielle McCune and Crystal Elliott at 235. Shannon O'Keefe is 9th with 230. And Natalie Koprowitz, there we go, is 10th with 226. So we saw some high scores early on in the men's qualifying round. Those are some solid numbers as well early on for the women, as Terry delivers a strike in the second, picking up where she left off in game 1. Nice cover by Jordan Newham. a quick update as well after one game for the overall scores. Danielle McEwen is in very good shape to win her third Team USA Trials. Currently at 23 total points. She's been just a machine this week. It's bold, spectacular every step of the way. Jordan Richard has moved into second. Currently 26th after one game, puts her at a 60-point total. Shan Pluhowski jumping a few spots. A strong start. She's currently at 66 total points. Stephanie Johnson is in 36th after game number one. She's at 67. Shannon O'Keefe moves into the top 5 with 69 points. Kelly Kulik is in 6th. She's 33rd after one game at 74. And Taylor Boltice is 7th, 106. Bit of a gap there now. Stephanie Schwartz had a rough first game. She's in 65th, 107 points total. Haley Richard moves into the top 10 at 108, and a two-way tie for 10th. Erin McCarthy and Ashley Galante at 129 for their point totals. For those of you maybe just tuning in for the first time this week, since I did just mention the ranking points, the tournament works a little differently than I guess what most are used to seeing, because this is such an important event. We have to have the top overall competitors representing the United States. So there have been a total of 5 6-game blocks so far, and positions for the 6-game block are determined off a total pinfall, which makes perfect sense. But the overall standings are based on the player's position in the standings each day. So, for instance, Stephanie Schwartz was first yesterday, so she received 1 point. If someone was in 5th, they would receive 5 points. If they finished 23rd, they would receive 23 points for the day. And then we add up the totals for each day, and you want to have the lowest score as possible. It's kind of like golf. The lower the better. And when it's all said and done, the 4 lowest total scores for both the adults and the youths earn automatic spots on Team USA and Junior Team USA, respectively. And the top 3 amateurs advance to the U.S. Amateur Championship. That can be either juniors or amateurs, obviously. Just nobody who holds a professional card is eligible to make that. So we saw that on the men's side. Now that they're all said and done, Marshall Kent and Andrew Kane were skipped over for that final because of their professional status. On the women's side, though, currently 5 out of the top 6 are professionals, so we could definitely see a shake-up there. If the tournament ended after 1 game, it would be Jordan Richard, Taylor Boltice, and Stephanie Schwartz as the top 3 amateurs in the field. They would advance to a step-ladder final. 2 takes on 3, winner takes on 1. Winner is guaranteed a spot on Team USA. Unless they've already secured a spot on Team USA, then the next spot down would go to the next highest performer in the overall ranking points. So the U.S. Amateur returned this year, so everybody's kind of getting used to that aspect of it, but it's going to be exciting. A very coveted title for a very long time, and we're bringing it back here in 2016. Haven't had a U.S. Amateur champion since 2007. So it's been way too long, and we're excited to have it back, and we're excited to bring it here on Bowl TV. Once again, that starts tonight. So set your alarm clocks, set your phones to start buzzing off, and tune into Bowl TV at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. We'll kick things off right then and there, and then directly after, we will introduce Team USA and Junior Team USA for 2016. We had a rogue garbage can in the background there, in case anyone was wondering. It has been taken care of, however. Question from Brad in the chat. Unfortunately, I am not located out of Las Vegas. I'm just here for Team USA Trials, and then we'll be returning back to the greater DFW area in Texas. But it's funny you mentioned those two specific collegiate events. We actually had live streamed them the past few years, and I was lucky enough to be able to cover them. So it was a little different not being able to go this year, but an extra Vegas trip this way, so that's always fun. But certainly some great collegiate teams. I know Calumet College had a good tournament on the men's side, had swept both tournaments. And we've certainly seen plenty of great collegiate players here throughout the week, whether they're currently in college or have since graduated. Many familiar faces over the years making their return here. So that's pretty exciting. Future of the sport definitely looking good this week. Definitely a younger field overall. A lot of young folks looking for spots on Junior Team USA this year. But we'll only have 6 awarded when it's all said and done for both the boys and the girls. Four of them already determined on the boys' side. And we'll know 4 more after Game 6 in this squad. Nice shot there by Sarah Schultz to finish off game number 2 with 163. Leah Glazer got off to a strong start, had 5 strikes in a row. Just ran into some trouble here late in game 2. Going to clean up the single pin. Can still get to 203. Dan and Terry was in the top 5 after game number 1. She can still get to 210 this game after a split in the 9th. Just getting ready to start the 10th over on 57 and 58. Great shot by Dannon to kick things off. Glazer finishes up with 203. Nice strike to cap the game. Brianna still has 212 out there. Starts off with a strike. Toss 2 more. Jordan and Dannon deliver strikes. 10th frame has been pretty good here so far in the early going. In our final women's round, seen a lot of doubles. There's another one. Brianna delivers. Dannon finishes with 207. Jordan denied the double. Stubborn 7-pin. Brianna gets to 210 to finish things up, so solid game. Cassidy still has 197 out there. All right, we'll have one final shot on our featured pair, and then we'll wait for game number 3 here in the final women's qualifying round at the 2016 Team USA Trials. Big thanks to everyone for joining us all throughout the week, even if it was for just a few frames or if you've been here for most of the time. We definitely appreciate you spending a few minutes with us here on Bowl TV. Plus, it's nice not to talk to myself, so I appreciate that. People chiming in the chat. Cassidy finishes with 173. Now we'll wait for game 3. Still have a few pairs going from what I can see here. So there'll be a few minutes, so everyone hang tight. Game number 3 coming up next here on Bowl TV. Welcome to game 3 of 6 here at the final round of women's qualifying at the 2016 Team USA Trials. I'm Aaron Smith coming to you live from a Gold Coast Hotel and Casino. Get you a quick rundown of the lineups here. On 57 and 58 we have Megan Hedgespeth, Randy Spieler, and Jacqueline Rhoda. Jacqueline takes care of the always tricky 2-5-7 to kick things off. Over on 59 and 60 we have Jacqueline Evans, Paige Croucher, and Adele Warner. As soon as we get updated standings through 2 games, which has usually been pretty quick this week, we will let you know. Just some clarification in the chat. The U.S. Amateur is essentially just the stepladder finals, but talk about a tough thing to get to. So anyone who is not deemed a professional in the field has essentially been competing for a chance to have a spot in the U.S. Amateur stepladder finals all week. Only the top 3, both the men's and the women's side, adult or youth, doesn't matter, just as long as they're not a professional, will advance to that stepladder later tonight. 2 will take on 3. The winner will take on 1. On the men's side, we already have that settled. Our opening match will feature Chris Vi and AJ Chapman, with the winner taking on Cameron Doyle. Doyle already has some experience in this format, winning 2 matches to take home the Team USA Trials in 2015. We still don't know who's going to be joining us on the women's side yet. Obviously, we got a few more games to go, and as we saw earlier, anything can happen. Whether it's locking up a spot on Team USA or Junior Team USA with an automatic bid, or making it into the top 5 or top 3, excuse me, for a chance to take home the coveted U.S. Amateur title. Standings are updated through 2 games, and Shannon O'Keefe moves into the lead, the big 278. She has 508 after 2. Shannon Pluhowski and Danielle McEwen both tied at 478. Crystal Elliott, steady 235, 223. She's at 458. In 5th, Dan and Terry, who we just saw. She's at 454. Sierra Kanimoto and Lauren Pate tied for 6th with 452. Randy Spieler currently on our feature pair from Boatfish, California, 448. And Caleb Bandy and Stephanie Johnson currently tied for 9th at 440. Some changes in our overall standings through 2 games. Danielle McEwen still on the top of the standings. She's at 18 ranking points right now. Stephanie Johnson moves back into 2nd with 40. Kelly Kulik is 3rd with 58. Shannon O'Keefe jumping into 4th with 61. Shannon Pluhowski in 5th with 66. jump for Erin McCarthy. She's now 6th with 85 points. Jordan Richard falls to 7th with 86 points. Stephanie Schwartz is 8th with 89 points. Then a bigger jump. We have a tie for 9th and 10th. Haley Richard and Ashley Dunn at 122. So interesting scenario if it played out as it looks right now. The top 6 spots are all pros. So none of them would qualify for the U.S. Amateur. Jordan Richard currently would be the top seed. Stephanie Schwartz would be 2nd. Since Haley Richard and Ashley Dunn are tied for the 3rd spot right now, we would determine who gets that 3rd spot by total pinfall for the week. Very nice starts by Megan and Randy over on 57 and 58, striking away. Paige and Jacqueline also have doubles on 59 and 60. There'll definitely be some excitement tonight for the U.S. Amateur, and then especially afterwards as we announce and introduce Team USA and Junior Team USA for 2016. The National Selection Committee has a unbelievably tough job to do today. With their selections. At least 2 are coming from this event that they'll have to choose for both the men's and women's team for Team USA and for the boys and girls team on Junior Team USA. All right, Randy makes it 5 for 5. Making some nice shots here in game number 3. The 45-foot roam pattern has proved to be high scoring so far. It's one of the new patterns in the World Bowling Library, introduced just this week. January 1st they were announced, and we've seen 2 of those patterns this week. We kicked off with the 37-foot Melbourne pattern. That was a new one. Second round was the 40-foot Athens. Third round, 44-foot Tokyo. And then yesterday was the short pattern of the week, 34 feet with Stockholm. Randy bounces back nicely after the 9 spare in the 6th. She has 6 out of 7 strikes so far. I don't believe there's a ball limit this week, but there is one way to find out, and we'll consult the rules real quickly. There appears to be nothing in the tournament rules distinguishing a limit of bowling balls used. I believe Neil Stremmel, who we had on the past 2 days as well, the managing director, national governing body, also said that for this particular event, bowlers could use as much equipment as they would like or felt necessary. The only rule on bowling balls is they must meet all USBC requirements for surface hardness, weight, balance size, and the number of holes on the bowling ball, as well as being listed on the USBC approved ball list. Question on how many are being picked for Team USA tonight. Be a total of 12 on both the men's and the women's side. There'll also be 6 selections on the boys and girls side for Junior Team USA to go along with the 6 already on the team for 2016 based off their performances at the 2015 Junior Gold Championships. Some very nice performances here on 57 and 58. Megan and Randy striking away. Megan was still running 260s before that shot got a little bit too far right. So it's 245 out there. Nice shot from Jacqueline Evans to set up the foundation frame. Tough break on the spare. Megan's going to finish with 233. Still a nice game regardless. Nice shot by Paige, giving her a double to set up the 10th. Stubborn 7-pin for Randy to kick off the 10th. Jacqueline trips the 2. Right-hander's best friend. Tough game for Jacqueline Rhoda, finishing up with 157. Dell is staring down a 4-6 here in the 10th. A very nice game for Randy, 256. She's already in the top 10 coming into game 3, and we'll certainly keep her there, if not move her up a few spots in the standings. So, very nice game for the left-hander. Adele Warner takes the 1. She'll be at 162. Paige Krauser looking to get to 248. Member of the Stephen F. Austin bowling program. Gets that one left of target. Leaves the 3-6-10. Tough break on the spare. Sends the 6 around the 10 to finish at 213. That'll wrap up at game number 3 here on our featured pairs. So everyone sit tight. Game 4 coming up next. The final round of qualifying for the 2016 USBC Team USA Trials. Thanks again for swinging by. Game 4 coming up next. Don't go too far.
Not at the Swan.
All right, welcome back. We are in game number 4 of 6 here in the final round of women's qualifying at the 2016. There we go. Team USA Trials. I'm once again joined by Jason Thomas here on Bowl TV. Welcome back, Jason.
Thank you, Aaron. I'm glad to be back.
It sounded like it. You went on a little mission to find some extra gear for the live stream booth, and you got caught in Las Vegas traffic, among other things, it sounded like.
Yes, but we're all set for the stepladder tonight.
Perfect. So, once again, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Also the local time here in Las Vegas for the U.S. Amateur Championships Stepladder Finals. Joining us here in game number 4 on 57 and 58. Stephanie Sislevich, Kaylin Washburn, and Holly Harris. Over on 59 and 60, we have Laura Branch, Haley Cummings, and Marina Stever.
And just like we had this morning, as we get deeper into the round, we see the players that are closer to the top of the leaderboard. These players here kind of middle of the pack, just a little bit above middle of the pack, heading into today. And if you look at the overall rankings, the pros are occupying the top 6 positions, all PWBA members.
Definitely, definitely cool. We'll see if that's, still the same. We've actually updated through game 3 already, and we still have 6 pros as the first 6 spots. Not sure if they're in the same order or not, but Danielle McEwen still leading the overall ranking points with 19, Stephanie Johnson 35, Kelly Kulik 51, Shannon O'Keefe 61, Shannon Pluhowski 69, Erin McCarthy is 74. Sitting in 7th, Stephanie Schwartz with 79. She moved up a few spots. Taylor Baltice is in 8th with 90 points. Jordan Richard with 95. And Ashley Dunn rounds out the top 10 with 99. For the day, Shannon O'Keefe still leads with a 719 for a 3-game score. Randy Spieler, who we just saw shoot 250 on our feature pair, is sitting in 2nd with 704. Danielle McEwen is 3rd, 665. Stephanie Johnson 4th, 663. Shannon Pluhowski 5th with 661. We'll go a little bit deeper into the top 10. Caleb Bandy 6th, 660. Alicia Current is 7th with 651. Erin McCarthy 8th, 640. Kayla Crawford 9th, 639. And Kelly Kulik rounds out the top 10 with a 632. So JT, since we were just talking about the U.S. Amateur off-air, if it were to start right now, our first match would be Taylor Baltice and Jordan Richard taking on, they would take on each other in a 1-game match first. Winner would face Stephanie Schwartz in the finals. So there we go.
Looks like a good stepladder. I saw Stephanie Schwartz last year for the first time at Junior Team USA training camp, and very impressed with her game.
Yeah, Stephanie has been on Junior Team USA in the past, and as the top youth player right now in the overall rankings, definitely has a chance to continue that on in 2016. And very talented. We know she's a very good player, but she's taken that on to the collegiate ranks at Stephen F. Austin. Actually helped lead them to a 2nd place finish in the NCAA National Championships in 2015.
Well, they're lucky to have her.
Certainly so. Stephanie has been a name that I've been hearing since about 2013, 2014, and yeah, she has certainly not disappointed on the lanes. She's a awesome competitor. She was our leader for the last round, so she got her picture taken with Tennille and received the trophy, so that's always fun.
Well, and if she can make a little run here the last few games, she could easily get into one of those top 4 spots, because she's 37th overall right now today. And if she could shave off 30 or so points off of that, she'd be in the top 4.
Easily, yep. And we've seen her shoot some big games here. Started off yesterday's block with a 299 and finished it with a 268 to take the overall lead, edging out Kelly Kulick by 4 pins.
That's some serious striking. And scores are a little lower for the women on this pattern than they were for the men this morning. But you'd imagine, especially with Stephanie, with her rev rate, she could easily make a little run here and put a big number up the last 3 games and get herself into the top 10 and possibly one of the locked 4 spots.
Once again, we already have the top 4 spots on the men's team and junior team figured out, and definitely going to be exciting. And once again, we'll test our math skills. They did plenty of speculation down the stretch. I think you were pretty close on the Andrew Kane call. He moved up about 30 spots that last game, going 270.
Yeah.
And securing his spot on Team USA. Then we were just doing a little bit of math too for Rob Gottschall on that devastating 4-9 split in the 10th frame.
It cost him a spot, one of the guaranteed spots. AJ Chapman also had a chance to strike out in the 10th for a high 2-teen and ended up going strike spare and ended up just missing by 3 spots. And if he would have doubled in the 10th, he would have had enough points to get in the top 4. So Andrew Kane sneaking his way in.
He did. He caught a break that last game with one errant shot that.
He had 2. One was a really lucky break, but then he tripped that 6-pin in the 9th. You remember?
Oh yeah.
And then he threw great shots in the 10th to lock it up. But yeah, I mean that was those 2 breaks were huge.
But that's what great players do as well, is when they do get a break, they take advantage of it. And Andrew certainly kept the momentum going and finished with a big 277.
And it's really cool to see him make the team. You know, his first year back, focusing more on bowling after doing such great work as USBC president, and then last time he was on Team USA 10 years ago. So really neat story there.
All right, just like she planned it. Kaylin Washburn striking without hitting the head pin. Always a fun way to do it. Take the breaks when you can get them at this event. All right. Nice shot from Laura Branch to record a double in the 6th and, oh, just the 6th frame. All right, get ahead of myself.
Marina Stever working on a 4-bagger. She's from Arizona. She's used to the warm weather.
Was it warm outside?
It was not. It was
not
cold. But it's dry though.
It's dry.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I haven't been outside since the practice day, so
It's a dry cold.
it's a dry cold. So I hear tales of weather and all that fun stuff here during live stream week. So
Yeah, it was 53, which in a lot of places would be warm.
that's true
this time of year.
for the time of the year. Yes. But Marina delivered another strike to make it 5 in a row. Oh, Laura did have 2 in a row. It just went back to the 6th frame after that. Okay. I just assumed I was seeing things. Stephanie unable to get the 10 out on the mixer for 3 in a row. Just thinking even that over the course of a week, just one more mixer 7 could be the difference between a guaranteed spot on the team and having to wait out for the National Selection Committee.
Yeah, and we saw it all unfold a couple hours ago with the men. Just a couple of hits here and there, and you're on or off. So a really exciting finish earlier today, and I think the way it's shaping up here on the women's side, we might have another one here in about an hour and a half. Danielle McEwen is just so amazing. She just doesn't ever bowl bad.
That seems to be the case. Yeah, she's been a machine this entire week, and it's just awesome to watch. There's really no other way to describe it. She's just.
I mean,
You could arguably say the best in the world right now.
Last year was amazing. Her domination last year. I think she led 4 out of 5 of the rounds or something, and she might have had less than 10 points total all week. That's just.
For the amount of talented players in the field and that just the variances in conditions, yes, I mean, definitely an amazing feat just to constantly be top 5, no matter long pattern, short pattern, medium pattern. Probably throw the Peterson shot out there.
Yeah. It doesn't matter, and she's not going to lose it in a stepladder final match this year.
That's true, and same for Marshall. Marshall was the top seed going into last year's Team Trials stepladder. Ended up losing to Cameron Doyle in the final match. So Cameron became the youngest Team Trials champion ever. Another tough break there for Stephanie. But talked to Marshall a little bit afterwards, and he said he had made an appearance at the World Cup in 2000, or he had won Team Trials in 2012, so he had gotten a chance to bowl the World Cup in 2012, and he said his performance wasn't what he had hoped it would have been, and it's something he's kind of been wanting to get back at and have another shot at, and He gets to go to Shanghai in October.
Yeah, he's very impressive as well. I mean, he's already won this event before, and he's been runner-up another time, and he's going to be really, really good for a really, really long time.
All right, we always like more information about our players when we can get it, so I received a text, a little information about Marina. She bowls collegiately at Central Missouri. So Central Missouri, the Jennies always have a pretty solid program, so Marina definitely a solid addition to that program and putting up a solid game here in game 4. Stepping up in the 10th with a chance to shoot 258. Thanks to Randy Silva for providing that information. I guess I shouldn't talk about Marshall's performance at the 2012 World Cup as bad because I just looked it up and he actually finished second. So that does explain the urge to want to get back and win that title. So
yeah, you know, second's never bad, but if you're Marshall, you want to win everything.
Nice shot by Holly Harris, past Team USA and Junior Team USA member. Delivered the first strike in the 10th.
Yeah, she's got a nice game going.
She has 243 still out there, it looks like. Stephanie Sislevich, that's how I'm supposed to say it.
Did you get some direction from
I had some trouble earlier in the week, and I've got it close now. So I'm putting
You're only messing it up 1 out of 3 times. Instead of
exactly.
2 out of 3.
So Stephanie's going to have a nice game here. Going to finish up with 215. It was her mother's birthday yesterday. She was tuned in, so.
Oh, cool.
So that was cool.
Well, she gets to see her again today on her unbirthday.
Marina delivers another strike for a double to kick off the 10th. Nice 232 from Holly Harris.
Yeah, I was gone for a couple games there, and has the trend on 59 and 60 being a high-scoring pair continued?
It's been pretty even so far. To be honest with you, it hasn't been as crazy, and we talked about that, and then we saw the lone left-hander come to that pair. Andrew Kane come up, put a big game. Anthony Simonson, who is looking for a 3-bagger all day, that wasn't in the 10th frame, goes 250. Rob Gottschall was going 240s before he split in the 10th, so definitely seemed to be the trend. But so far, it's been kind of even. We've actually had we had a big 250 game from Randy Spieler on 57 and 58 last game, and obviously some nice scores here in game 4 as well. We've got some nice games over on 59-60 though too, so it's a little more even, I guess, so far through the women's squad. So Not sure 58 has that same hanging spot that we were seeing.
Yeah, and I think the women are going at it a little more directly, so that might be neutralizing, you know, what the men were seeing when they were going left to right. That tends to help when you're going a little bit more at the pins.
Oh, absolutely. All right, Marina finishes up with 244. Laura Branch in the books at 193. Kaylin Washburn gets to 207. So Haley Cummings will have the lanes to herself here to finish things off. Great shot to kick off the 10th.
Seems like a lot of good conversation going on in the chat room.
Oh, a lot going on today.
Yeah.
So it's been good though. It's been constructive for the most part. So yesterday we got a little crazier than usual. So today's been much calmer. We appreciate that. This is family programming. All right, Haley will have the 7 pin to clean up to get to 189, and then well, looks like everyone around here is in the 10th frame or already done, so hopefully a little bit quicker transition into game number 5. As Haley cleans up the 7 pin, gets to that 189. So, Mr. Thomas, game 4 in the books.
Game 4 in the books. Our penultimate game coming up next, and find out who's going to get in position to make a run at the top 4. We'll be back with more coverage from 2016 Team USA Trials. This is Jason Thomas with Aaron Smith. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Might have to do the same thing today.
All right, game number 5 is now underway. We are joined by Amanda Fry, Ashlyn Herzberg, and Kayla Hicks on 57 and 58. Over on 59-60, we have Katie Stark, Lauren Hoffman, Sarah Loker, and Katie Sutphin. As soon as we get standings through game 4, we'll let you know. Once again, a reminder, after this game, we will have our top 7 competitors who started the day and the overall rankings joining us here on lanes 57 through 60 at Gold Coast Hotel and Casino. So we'll get to do a lot of math, a lot of speculation, and ultimately we'll see who's joining Team USA and Junior Team USA in 2016. Shannon O'Keefe continues to hold on to the top spot in the standing, fire 233 in game number 4. Her total 952, averaging 238 for the block. Brady Spieler holds on to second at 907. Danielle McCune is third with 879. Alicia Curran fourth with 878. And Sierra Kanimoto, our junior gold champion in the under 20 division in 2015, is fifth with 875. Welcome back, Mr. Thomas.
Thank you, sir. Had a nice conversation with Mr. Barnes, and gave me the scoop on how it went this week, and finished around 30th, and obviously that's not something that he is going to enjoy very much, but considering the circumstances with coming back from the back surgery and having missed several months of PBA action, he said it was kind of a moral victory. So it's good to see him back, and he said he's going to keep working on it. He's going to be bowling Japan later this month and trying to get ready for the Tournament of Champions and the Masters.
Sounds good. Yeah, Chris coming back from injury, never fun, and takes a lot of work. Was excited to hear when he's going to be here this week, and it's always good to see one of the top players on the planet out here trying to earn a spot. Maybe wants another World Cup title before it's all said and done. So
he just loves competing, and you know that's you got to give him a lot of credit for coming out here. He didn't have to be here. You know, he could have turned in his resume, and you know there was also a big risk that he could have really bowled poorly and embarrassed himself, and you know, he just doesn't care. He just wants to come out and compete and try to, you know, keep going. And you got to give him a lot of credit for shooting it up this week.
Certainly so, and Chris will still have a chance to make Team USA, even though he finished outside the top 4 in the standings. So as you mentioned, through resumes, the National Selection Committee can select up to 5 players who have submitted resumes as past Team USA or Junior Team USA members in the past 10 years, or around the top 25 in points on the PBA or PWBA tour in 2015. So
be interesting to see if they pick him. You know, that's the question. You know, I think the assumption what they have to kind of figure out is, do they think Chris is going to be, you know, back at 100% and bowling well once the international season starts? And obviously, based on resume and everything else, he's a shoo-in to be picked. But you know, if he's not going to be healthy, then you know there's a risk in taking a spot with Chris. But you know, it seemed like he bowled well enough this week at 70% to justify that, hey, he's on his way back. So we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting.
Looks like we had a slight change in the overall standings as well after game number 4. So we still have 5 pros at the top of the overall rankings. Jordan Richard surpassed Erin McCarthy in game number 4 by a single point, so she's 6th now. Erin still 7th. Stephanie Schwartz holding on to 8th. Brianna Cote.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, that's very nice.
I had to think about it from our conversation earlier, but she's sitting in 9th with 108 points, and Ashley Dunn rounds out the top 10 with 109, but there's a few folks not too far behind right now for the U.S. Amateur. Jordan Richard, Stephanie Schwartz, and Ashley Dunn.
There are, and there are also a couple of ladies that if they can make a little run these last 2 games, can get themselves around Shannon O'Keefe. Shannon can't go anywhere but down, obviously
true.
being first. So, but there are a couple ladies that can pass her if they can move up in the standings in today's competition. Jordan Richard, one of them, she's currently 41st, and she's 14 spots behind, 14 points behind Shannon O'Keefe. So if she can move up 15 spots in today's standings, she would pass Shannon because Shannon can't get any less points than she has today already. And Stephanie Schwartz also could surpass Shannon if she could move up. She's 19 points behind at this point in time, so if she could move up 20 spots and get herself into 18th before the end of this round, she would pass Shannon as well.
And we'll get to see all of them soon. Next game, the final game here at the 2016 Team USA Trials. Completely. We already had the men's earlier today. The women's final coming up next. Or final game, I should say. And then the U.S. Amateur portion coming up at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. local time here in Las Vegas. Some great shots by Katie Stark to kick things off. She has 4 in a row. Lauren Hoffman shot 300 on our opening day, was the only competitor on the new 37-foot Melbourne pattern to find 12 consecutive strikes. Had a nice 5th place finish that day, and it was her first 300 ever. So to do that here at Team Trials, a pretty awesome
wow,
thing.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome. First one ever here.
And as I mentioned to Neil Stremmel yesterday, I think it was either Neil or Jeff Fair was also on for a little bit yesterday. Lauren was on the live stream pair a game before that happened. So that was the only thing that could have made it better if it was just 1 game sooner. But
Yeah.
But I'm sure she's happy regardless on live stream or not to have that 300 in the books.
Katie Stark with the front 5.
Amanda Fry, 1 pair to our left, working on 4 in a row after a spare in the first. Amanda bowls collegiately at Vanderbilt. Ashlyn Herzberg at Wichita State. So there's some collegiate competitors. Sarah Loker, part of the Arkansas State program, and a former junior Team USA member. Also bowled a few of the PWBA stops this year, I believe.
Yeah, she's a PWBA member. Made several match play finals.
So probably something our two lefties haven't seen a lot is traffic on their side of the lanes. And once again, a little different today. The groupings are paired together, so almost like a position round for 6 games. And so Amanda and Ashlyn have followed each other all day. And gotta be curious how much that actually happened throughout the week.
It's got to help. You know, we mentioned earlier with the men, with the longer pattern, the men typically play a little bit further in, and the risk is that you know, by the later games, you're starting to see the righties lay the ball down on the lefties' laydown area, and but we really didn't see much of that. In fact, we watched Andrew Kane the last game shoot 279 and make the team. So I think the left side should be very playable.
Definitely looked that way. And another report from the field that I missed one of our collegiate bowlers, Katie Stark, also at the collegiate level bowling for Vanderbilt. They've built a pretty nice program over the years on the NCAA side. Josie Ernest, our day one leader, part of their group, and they always seem to be in contention at the end of the year. That was another helpful hint from Randy Silva, watching back home in Texas.
Wow, Brandy's got the info. How come Brandy's not bowling this week?
It's a good question.
Just thought she could give everyone else a chance.
Yep, that's it.
Yep.
She's also keeping an eye on the injured Matt Cannizzaro as he recovers from wrist surgery. So, Matt, if you're home already and watching, certainly hope things are going better.
Yeah, it's got to be a bummer for Matt not to be able to bowl.
That's true. He got in his PBA events. Got a few of them in right before his date with Destiny took place. But hopefully they can make him stronger, faster, better.
Put some bionic materials in his wrist.
Exactly.
It worked for Luke Skywalker. He lost a hand and he still was able to defeat the Emperor.
That's true. That's an old school spoiler alert for all those folks back home.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about the new Star Wars, although I have seen it.
JT, you were one of those day one guys, weren't you?
I was. I saw it day one. Yep, if I would have been in California, I would have been one of those poor people waiting outside the Man's Chinese, or TCL Chinese Theater. Sorry, I'm not used to that yet. Who were invited in to see the premiere, which was pretty cool.
That is. Amanda Fry looking to get back on track after the 10 pin, and it's got company this time.
Bad break. Nothing worse than having a 270 going and leaving one of those on a pocket hit. Kayla Hicks just left that 7-pin there, and she's having a rough day today. She was doing really well in the tournament, and she's 45th overall, but 101st right now on today's squad, so not enjoying the long pattern.
Hits like that 7-pin not mixing out certainly doesn't help the case. And when things aren't going your way, sometimes things like that happen. Still get to 193 this game, though. Nine and a half for Lauren Hoffman.
Yeah, she had a preemptive cheer in the background.
Thought it was going to topple over. Ashlyn Herzberg has bounced back nicely after the big 4 and the 6th 3 in a row for her. But she gets the other half and converts the spare. Got me down a little bit quicker on 57 and 58, only with 3 on a pair. 4 on a pair on 59 and 60, so they're taking, going to take a little bit longer. Just starting the 8th frame. There's a nice shot from Kayla. Kicks the 10 out that time. Nice shot from Sarah Loker, making it 3 in a row.
In case you haven't seen, we had a big announcement today on PWBA. Opened up our membership and entry process for 2016. So if you're interested in bowling one of our events, you can enter those now through pwba.com. Membership also opened and announced some added benefits for members who are interested in joining for the 2016 season.
Definitely looking forward to that 2016 PWBA season after 2015 was such a overwhelming success. Sold out fields, some new champions along the way, some familiar faces, not ready to go away just yet. Definitely had everything and was fun to watch along the way. It'll kick off at the end of April. Right here in Las Vegas. Right here in Vegas.
Not at this particular bowling center, but across town, Texas Station, hosting our first event. And then we'll be back in Vegas again a few weeks later for the Queens.
Also at a different center.
Correct.
Queens will be held at the Orleans along with the Senior Queens, held back to back. So it'll be a good week and a half of competition going on over at the Orleans. That's also a Boyd Gaming center, similar to here. So Mike Kaufman and his staff will be taking care of everyone there. So looking forward to that. Amanda Fry finishes with 234. Kayla Hicks throws a double in the 10th to get to 192. Ashlyn Hersberg can cover up the 7-pin and get to 203. Sarah looking pretty lined up over on 59 and 60, making it 4 in a row. Always anchored those strong Arkansas State teams on the NCAA side. Get to watch them bowl a few tournaments that we covered over the years, the Prairie View A&M a few times, and the Ket Clash down in Houston, so definitely knows how to knock all 10 down. As Katie Sutphin gets the late trip on the 7. Katie also a PWBA member.
Correct. Made quite a few match play finals last season. One of the players that is really talented, and once she kind of figures out, the different stages, how to get through the different stages, as a player that we would expect to see getting a banner at some point.
All right, good bounce back from Katie Stark after a few rough frames. Can still get to 213. Started with 5 in a row and then found some hardship in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Good shot, leaves the 7 on her second shot. Just saw Shannon O'Keefe walk by. She'll be up on 59 and 60 for our 6th and final game of qualifying today.
Can be interesting to see if anybody can pass her. She's just trying to hang on to that number 1 spot so she can keep her point total where it is, and then see if either Jordan Richard or Stephanie Schwartz can make a little run and pass her.
Shannon Pluhowski will actually be 1 pair away from us. She actually started the day outside of the top 7, but she's certainly worked her way into the mix. She really just had a rough first day, and
yeah,
Shannon's been pretty spot on since then.
Yeah, she's never finished lower than 9th the rest of the tournament.
All right, Katie Stark in the books at 203. Sarah Loker, 212. Lauren Hoffman looking at the 124. No problem. She can get to 193 still. We'll see if Katie Sutphin can put together a few to get to 196. Just kicks that 10 out. So I just went to our USBC Facebook page to, or Twitter page, excuse me, just to throw out another reminder that the final game's coming up, and saw we had in our list of people who follow us had a retweet from Gordon Bombay. So, go Ducks.
Nice.
Whenever you can work in a Mighty Ducks reference, it's a good day.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
so there we go.
Well, one more shot here in game number 5, and we'll take a quick break, and then we'll be ready for our 6th and final game. Team USA spots on the line, spots in the National Amateur Championship Stepladder Finals on the line, and the last chance to make a statement to the selection committee.
There I saw Kendra Gaines. She's claiming her seat over here. She'll be back in a second to get one last look at these great competitors who have, can't believe it's game 30 already.
All right, that's going to do it for game number 5. Stick around. We'll be right back with more coverage. The final game coming up here for the women at the 2016 USBC Team USA Trials.
Gentlemen, to the front desk, please.
Welcome back, the good people of Bowl TV. We are here for the final game of women's qualifying at the 2016 Team USA Trials. I'm Aaron Smith, alongside JT himself, Jason Thomas.
Thank you, sir. And I got some unofficial news about Stephanie Schwartz and Jordan Richard that they both bowled low games last game, and if that's true, it's probably going to knock them out of contention for having an opportunity to get up into the top 4. And if that's the case, then our top 4 might be locked up.
All right, news from the field, and we'll see those standings pretty soon here. But talk about a great lineup for this final game over on 57-58. Danielle McEwen, who's won just about everything imaginable in the past few weeks and has been leading this tournament since day 2. She's joined by Stephanie Johnson, Jordan Richard, and Kelly Kulick. Stephanie Schwartz, Taylor Boltice, and Shannon O'Keefe over on 59-60. We also have Shannon Pluhowski, who's made a nice run today over on 55-56. So hopefully it's just as fun as the men's final game.
I think what's going to be dramatic here is seeing who gets into that step ladder for the National Amateur Championship.
I agree with you. It looks like definitely strong showings from those first 5 or 6 spots, but yeah, someone's going to have the chance to really earn that spot for Team USA.
Yeah, depending on what happened in game number 5, Shannon Pluhowski still might have an outside chance of getting into the top 4, but she'd need Shannon O'Keefe to drop a few spots, and she'd have to shoot a big game here herself.
Well, Shannon O'Keefe still at the top of the standings, 233 in game 5, so she's at 1185 through 5. Stephanie Johnson second with 1108, so pretty sizable gap there, so it doesn't look like Shannon's going to more than likely go anywhere. Danielle McEwen is in third with 1104. Kayla Bandy putting together a nice final day in the 4th, 1093. Randy Spieler still around the top of the standings at 1090. Justine Falbo, 1085 in 6th. Shannon Pluhowski in 7th, 1077. Josie Ernest in 8th, 1074. Kaylin Carl in 9th, 1067. And Kelly Kulick rounds out the top 10 with 1058. So since the dailies are out, we can look at the overalls. As soon as they load up here on our fancy computer boxes. McEwen's still in first. This is looking like like she's going to take home the title for the 3rd time. She's got 19 points. Stephanie Johnson in second with 33. Kelly Kulick in third with 51. Shannon O'Keefe still holding on to that 4th spot with 61. So, yeah, Shannon Pluhowski definitely needs some help this game, and a big game herself. She's in 5th at 71. Erin McCarthy 6th with 89 points. Stephanie Schwartz, the first non-pro, is in 7th with 98. Taylor Boltice in 8th, 99. Jordan Richard, not too far behind, with 106. Brianna Cote in 10th with 108. Jordan Richards had a rough day. She's in 72nd overall, so as we mentioned, might be a good thing to be a little bit lower in the standings in this particular sense, because a big game can really catapult you up the standings.
Well, let's see exactly how much they can catapult themselves. I'm talking about Stephanie Schwartz and Jordan as well.
Stephanie was in 56th coming into the final game.
You know, there's not a lot of separation between 56th and say 26th. So she could easily move up 30 spots with a big game here. Now she's already got an open frame in the 2nd, so best she can shoot is 266. But we'll see. 266 would go a long way.
Certainly would.
And Jordan, she's down in 72nd.
Start
And
with an open.
Start with an open. She can shoot 279, and that would probably jump her up into the high 20s. So she could probably pick up 40 or 45 spots, and that would be close.
So what you're telling me is we're just trying to figure out who's going to Andrew Kane this the last game.
Yeah, basically, if Jordan misses at any point from here on out, she's out. But if she doesn't miss, it could get interesting.
Jordan already owns a spot on Junior Team USA for 2016. Looking to join the adult team as well. Our tournament leader, Shannon O'Keefe, delivers her her first strike, I should say. For her sake, hopefully not her final strike. Here in game number 6. Taylor Boltice has been hanging around the top 10 the entire week. This is actually the first time I believe she's been on a featured pair. So we'll get to see her. She's still in contention for the U.S. amateur spot. But Taylor falls into the realm of a true amateur. She's no longer eligible for Junior Team USA and hasn't made it out to the PWBA yet, at least. So trying to make her mark here at Team USA Trials. There's an unforced error from Taylor, unable to convert the 3-6.
Great shot there from Jordan. Still alive.
So you're saying I got a chance?
Yeah, exactly.
JT's computer has become the most popular item to watch besides
I
bowling
have
at
so
this
many
point.
people watching my computer.
I have elected to keep an eye on the chat room, so I am not nearly as popular as you are right now.
Kelly Kulik with
Reeling them in.
reeling him in with a little strike there. She's in. She's going to make Team USA once again. Going to give the rest of the field another spot there on the selections.
That's true as well. We'll be real eager to see that one. I mean, on the men's side, we've kind of gotten used to seeing some of the PBA guys, Sean Rashes, the Tommy Jones, the Chris Barnes, but definitely might be a little different with the return of the PWBA this year. And
Yeah, it definitely makes a difference when you have pros. And, you know, if you look at the leaderboard, the top 4 are all pros, so they're taking 4 of those players out of the mix for the selections.
Once again, a reminder to everybody, bowling is not done for the day on Bowl TV after this final game here. We will take about an hour break. Break is a kind word for all the
Yeah,
work
it's not
we'll be
really
doing.
what we'll be doing,
But,
but yeah.
But there'll be about an hour 15, depending on how quickly this game goes. And we'll be back on the air with the stepladder finals of the U.S. Amateur. So it returns after being away for nearly a decade. And a spot on Team USA also up for grabs. Danielle finding the same kind of early troubles as Marshall had on 57 and 58. Just Marshall had a few opens to start, and before finally getting a little lined up, and Danielle's left a few single pins now. Still looking for that first strike.
Shannon Plahowski just off to our left has strike spare 4-bagger. So.
Oh goodness, great shot from Jordan Richard, and
Yeah, that hurts, and that's probably going to do it for her as far as making one of those top 4 automatic spots. But she's still in great shape to get into that stepladder final. There'll be some jockeying for position, though. She can actually move up quite a bit, being in 72nd place here in the 5th round.
I'm guessing if Jordan ends up in that first spot, she'll probably not pick this pattern. The higher seed for every
I would
match
guess not. Yeah.
gets to choose the pattern used from the 5 we use throughout the week. Either the 37-foot Melbourne, the 40-foot Athens, the 44-foot Tokyo, the 34-foot Stockholm, or the 45-foot Rome we're bowling on today.
It'd be interesting to see what she does pick, though, if she does have a choice, because it seems like she was very consistent all week. This was probably the only one that she wouldn't consider.
That is one of the reasons why we're using a few different pairs, so we'll have them all prepared. So it'll just be essentially practice time, we'll have the match, and then more practice time, and then go. So the patterns will be
Wow, another great shot and another bad break. She's got a good ball reaction, though. That's the important thing. She can move up a lot of spots, even with just a 220 or 230 this game.
Oh, absolutely. Saw it with Chris Vi on the men's side. 226 or 228 was enough to secure his spot on Team USA a little bit earlier today.
Yeah, when you're down in the standings, you know, you just shoot a 220 or 230, you can move up, pick up 20 or 30 points.
Shannon Pluhowski thinking way more than 220 this game. Just has the one spare in the second, I believe, and has had everything since. Ari through the 8th frame. Erin McCarthy throwing a few strikes in a row.
Yeah, she still has 267 possible.
267, yep.
She's not going to have enough points available to her to pass Shannon O'Keefe to get into the top 4. But again, you put on a good game that last game and show the committee that you're capable of shooting those big games when it counts. And that's definitely something they'll consider. And she was a selection last year.
That is true. Erin McCarthy, a member of Team USA in 2015.
And she didn't do anything in 2015 that would say that she's kind of lost a step. She finished second at the Queens. She made another stepladder finals in one of our PWBA events. She qualified for the Tour Championship, so she had a great year professionally, as well as a member of Team USA. Looks like the ladies just having a little bit of an issue getting the ball to hit on this pair on 57 and 8.
Definitely get to the pocket plenty, but yeah, I gotta agree with you. And they seem a little bit tricked on 59 and 60, or maybe just making some poor shots here after a long week of competition. But seen a few interesting leaves. We got a pair of washouts up there right now. Both Stephanie and Taylor struggling a little bit right now. Both kind of on the bubble for that U.S. amateur spot. Look at someone like, we actually have a few folks just outside of the top 3 for the U.S. amateur spot right now. Heather Pennizer, Haley Richard, Ashley Dunn. They're all over on 61 and 62. One pair to our right. Haley Richard working on a few strikes in a row. She entered this game at 26. She would have to make up quite a few points though. Ashley Dunn just delivered a double in the 7th and the 8th. She can still get to 236. She was a little bit closer at, oh no, she was actually a little bit further away on the overall, but she was a little further back in the standing, so 44th, 230s could bump her up.
Absolutely. A lot.
15, 20 spots.
Sure.
You know, some folks possibly going in the wrong direction here. You never know. It's going to be an interesting, interesting finish here.
Just can't get it to hit.
Just needs to tip just a little bit more, and unfortunately not making it up the hill right now. Seen a lot of the 9 counts.
There's not really any incentive to make a big adjustment. You know, if you've got the pocket, 2-0 or 190 is plenty.
Kayla Crawford throwing a lot of strikes over there, or getting a big cheer from him. I'm not sure. She has at least At least the last 4 getting ready for the 10th frame. She's over on 53 and 54.
Yeah, she could actually sneak into the step ladder, maybe.
Yeah, Kayla not too far behind Ashley Dunn. She can only move up so many spots, though, is her issue at this point. Currently 19th. But if that's 279 or 280 or 290 or who knows, maybe even all of them, that might be enough for another 10 or 15 spots.
Sure.
Shannon Pluhowski is going to be in the 250s. She can strike in her fill ball for 259. So she was in 7th coming into this game. Erin McCarthy can get to 246 still. Shannon O'Keefe had a pretty big margin over the rest of the field going into this final game. She was up about 80 on Stephanie Johnson. Stephanie also struggling a little bit this game.
Yeah, she's already got enough to stay ahead of Shannon Pluhowski. Pluhowski in with 259. And that's going to get her to 136 over. And Shannon already 185.
Kayla Crawford was running 290, and she left a 2-pin over on 53 and 54 for shot of the 10th.
Big strike there for Stephanie Schwartz.
Oh,
for shot of the 10th.
absolutely. 190 with the way that game was going. That's
yeah,
that's
you
a big
open there
swing.
and you're shooting 160 and probably dropping another 10 spots.
Taylor can still get to 181 here. So Kayla Crawford can still get to 269 this game. Big 9th and 10th from Stephanie Schwartz. And our tournament leader is going to have her low game of the day over on 59 and 60.
Still going to be enough, though. Stephanie Johnson, best she can shoot is 231. That would get her 139 over. Even with the open here, Shannon's going to be in the 170s, and she'll be more than 150 over.
Yep. So unless Kayla Bandy or Randy Spieler or Justine Falbo had a humongous game, looks like she'll be able to weather the storm of this 170.
Danielle just pepper in the pocket, just can't strike.
Sorry, just trying to see how many points Shannon.
Well, after the week she's had, she hasn't had to shoot very many spares, so.
Yeah, it's like I said, she doesn't really need to do anything rash this game. She just She's fine, just hitting the pocket, making shots, and getting into the house.
It's going to be a tough 150 here for Taylor Boltice unless she can find a way to cover the 4.67. It's bowled very well all week.
Yeah, that's too bad. She's going to lose probably another 10 or 15 spots and add 10 or 15 points to her total, and that might drop her out of the stepladder finals.
It's a very surreal moment going on right there. Just
Kelly making a ball change and still can't get the 10 pin out.
So 176 for Shannon O'Keefe, 190 for Stephanie Schwartz, 157 for Taylor Boltice. Hit's not coming, but Kelly taking care of the spares, and definitely going to be interesting for the U.S. Amateur Step Ladder Finals on the women's side. Jordan Richard gets the 10 to go out. Still gets a 200 on the nose. Which the way it's kind of shaping up around at least these parts, that's a pretty big game.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to keep her at or maybe up a couple of spots from where she is. And she was third. She's probably going to go around Taylor, who shot 150 this game, as we mentioned. And unless two more people pass her, she'll be in the stepladder. You know, that's what happens a lot of times when you're trying to figure out something that can get 10 instead of 9. You bring that into play
and get 7, and not an easy 7.
But again, not really going to make much of a big impact on the standings here. Kelly's locked in. She's going to be one of the 4 automatic spots.
So stepping into the 10th, Danielle McEwen can get to 205. Stephanie Johnson, after a bit of a rough start, can still get to 231. Jordan Richard, 200 on the nose, still available. And Kelly Kulik, 194. Big shot for Jordan Richard. And
wow.
Goodness. She gets the 2 here. That would be 168. That's about sums up Danielle's final game. But
yeah. She almost bailed out 200.
But with it all being said and done, she's still going to be our Team Trials champion. It's Stephanie really can't move up any further, and Danielle probably not going to fall too much here. May drop a few spots, but I don't know if 185 would be enough for 15 spots here.
Yeah, she's got plenty of cushion. She's going to get more than 20, though. One of these years, she's going to end up winning with a 5.
With a 5?
Yeah.
Good old-fashioned 5 at the Team Trials. Kelly's going to be pretty happy not to have to throw another more than 2 shots on this lane ever again.
She's glad she's not an amateur, so she doesn't have to pull the step ladder on this pair.
Precisely. So 185, Danielle McCune. What a great event for her.
Getting hugs.
Exactly.
It's a boyfriend-girlfriend win again.
Same as in 2012. They were the top seeds last year.
Both finished runner-up.
Both finished runner-up, so. Pretty crazy stuff here.
Kelly's still grinding it out. She's going to get another look at a different ball.
She's going to be mad if this strikes. So Jordan Richard finishes with a 1 at 98, gets the 2 for count. Stephanie Johnson can get to 208 max.
That's why Kelly Kulik's so great. She does not, I mean, she doesn't even need to throw this ball here. And here she is getting another look at a different ball just to try to learn something. Yeah, it's still 10 pin.
Still gets a 10 pin, so. All right, Stephanie Johnson will throw the last ball here on Bowl TV for women's qualifying at the 2016 Team USA Trials. Once again, we've said it enough today, but coming up in a little bit more than an hour, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, we'll have the U.S. Amateur Stepladder Finals, followed directly by the introduction of Team USA and Junior Team USA 2016. Stephanie Johnson will finish at 2:05. That's going to do it, JT.
That's going to do it. It's been an exciting day. We know 4 automatic Team USA members on both the men's and the women's side. We'll find out in a little while who our national amateur champion is. You can watch that here, as Aaron said, at 10 Eastern. And then we'll have our Team USA selections. We'll know who our Team USA and Junior Team USA are going to be for 2016, so don't miss it. We'll be back in just over an hour with more coverage here on Bowl TV.